Oh. Welcome, guys. You probably saw my head looking a bit upside down then, because I suddenly realised that I hadn't got my video on the right way around. So yeah. So welcome. It is Sunday the 15th of November. Feels like a little while, but yeah, I suppose when I just miss one Sunday in particular, it feels like a long time. It's 2 weeks. But I was delivering a course last weekend and just didn't feel that I'd really sort of got the time and energy to be able to give to it. But that in itself is quite an important thing as well for me to do. To weigh up. Am I pushing this too much? Can I actually do this and deliver it when I say I'm going to? So yeah, I think those things are all quite important. So one thing I was sort of thinking about was I recall that Natasha did her last live titled Speaking Your Truth. So I was sort of thinking a little bit about that. So this is sort of following on from the live that she did as well. Certainly the theme, that she was sort of talking about. And so something that had been going on for a couple of weeks, I'd noticed that I was beginning to feel quite frustrated. I was waiting for someone to come back to me about another date for a meeting that we'd arranged, and then we'd sort of rearranged because they couldn't make that one. And then at the same time, I noticed that there was something else we'd also arranged. There was a few of us involved in this particular project. So there was something else that we'd also arranged. And I looked in my diary and I thought, oh, well, that's literally, a day or two away. And again, nothing can be said. And so what I started to notice was I was feeling annoyed and frustrated and waiting for other people to come back to me. Now, 9 times out of 10, I'm the person who will go, hi guys, hello, what's going on? Can you send me another date? You haven't done so far, you're probably busy and so on. But I noticed that I was getting into a bit of a headspace of, along the lines of little thought processes like, why should I be the one to do this and point this out? Why do I have to be the one that pushes the dates? It's not just my responsibility because there's a number of us involved. And although I recognised this wasn't the best headspace to get into, at the same time, I carried on in that headspace. I don't know, I just really was having this moment of, no, I'm going to wait and see at what point somebody else is going to come back to me, sort of thing. Anyway, they didn't. And then this date for this other thing got closer. And I thought, oh man, do you know what? Yeah, I didn't feel totally 100% comfortable, sitting on this anyway, because, yeah, I knew I just wanted to clear it and say something. So eventually I spoke to the person, one key person anyway, concerned. And I said to them, about how I felt, this is, my frustrations. Had they noticed anything, any particular reasons for not coming back and so on? And it transpired they'd had an experience of a number of other things themselves that was going on that, to be fair, was quite big stuff. And I wasn't aware of that. And, it wasn't an appropriate time for them actually to share that. And what happened was them sharing some of their own thoughts and experiences put some of my frustrations into perspective. And I think that can happen at times. It doesn't mean that it negates my personal feelings. It doesn't mean it makes my feelings and emotions less than at all, because absolutely I had every, when I say right, I did have a right to feel the way I was feeling, and that was, that was my experience, that was down to me. But I did notice that hearing them share some of their stuff put things into perspective. And we also recognise that although it doesn't always feel 100% comfortable to open up challenging, uncomfortable conversations that you've been sitting on for a while and you need to have with somebody, but at the same time it opens up a dialogue that, in my experience, in fact every time really, even if it's really uncomfortable, it opens up a dialogue that is more honest. It creates a different kind of conversation, opens up a place, as I said earlier, to be able to speak your truth. And actually what happened was, from that shifted some energy around the conversation, and then it actually enabled that person to make other decisions about things that they needed to speak to other people about. So it shifted it in a lot of ways. As I said, did it feel comfortable? No, not initially. But actually it got it cleared, it cleared to a different place. Another example of this that I've experienced this week was where I was asked to deliver a course that was fairly short notice. It wasn't, planned, it wasn't in my diary. And when I was asked, I noticed and observed the internal responses and reactions that I was noticing in my own body. And so it was things like, at the time I remember an internal sense of, like a bit of a dip, a tightness. The way you describe it in my body was a bit of a sense of foreboding. I also knew that the time that they were asking me if I could do this other course, I'd planned to develop other resources for other things I'm developing and delivering, and other courses coming up. And so I'd already got that time, planned for other stuff anyway. So I was very conscious of thinking, well, actually, if I say yes to this, then there's some of those other things are going to be compromised. Doesn't mean I can't do them. Other people might not, even on the outside looking in, realise there's any impact or any difference, but I will. And I was thinking internally in my own mind, I thought, well, I know from experience it'll add more tiredness, both physically and emotionally. Although at the same time, delivering a course can also be really uplifting. Ultimately, it will take energy from me as well. So in essence, what I was doing was what I call a quick scan of what I call a yes or a no, weighing up the scales of the balance, what I might call the costs and the benefits of a potential decision. Now, I got used to doing that quite quickly in my own headspace, but actually what's really useful and good practice is get a piece of paper, draw a line straight down the middle of it, put yes on one side, no on the other, and then answer it in relation to the decision you're looking to make. So for example, if I was thinking about this potential course I was being asked if I could deliver. On the one side I've got, right, okay, so if I say yes to this course, then what am I potentially saying yes to? And some of it's obvious, and some of it you've got to dig a bit deeper and think through a bit. So I put, well, as I've already said, I could be saying yes to more tiredness, physically and emotionally. I actually might be saying yes for the sake of pleasing someone else and helping them out. I might also be saying yes to make somebody feel, better about me or think better of me in some way. I could potentially be saying yes out of guilt, for not wanting to let them down. I could be saying yes because I'm feeling the pressure, but I could also be saying yes to more pressure in a different way as well. So then on the other side, I'm like, okay, so if I say yes to this course, what am I potentially saying no to? So, for example, I've got things like my plan time, my prep time for not only one, actually, a number of other courses I might be delivering. So that would squeeze it down. Now, it doesn't mean I wouldn't not be able to do it. I know that within myself, but actually what would probably happen is I'd be saying no to the quality of what I'm delivering or the materials I'm developing. Potentially I'd be saying no to space and time with the course itself, but also within that space of time I'm going to be doing other stuff as well that I know is going to be really important, that I'm giving headspace to. Potentially saying no to quality time with my, with my partner. That might then not really give us more, just sort of energy really, to be able to sort of do some of these things. So that's important as well. So there was a number of other sort of factors, if you like, there that I was really, sort of thinking through to try and develop a little bit more. So I scanned through really quickly in my own body, and I decided that I really needed to say no, for the reasons that I'd also, already thought about. And even though I felt uncomfortable sort of saying no, at the same time, I felt better afterwards because I knew I'd made the right decision. And in fairness, as soon as I said it, I breathed a sigh of relief. I knew I'd have more space and time to do what I really wanted to do and what I needed to do. So that felt, much better for me as well. So it seems a really simple, and it is a very, I believe in the simple, it's a very simple strategy, but it's a really useful way of weighing up that yes and no concept. Say yes to this, what I'm potentially saying no to this, what I'm potentially saying yes to, and so forth. And it's just a really good way of getting your head in gear about, the implications, the real impact, the consequences, rather than going, okay, I'm not, I'll answer in that moment, and then afterwards thinking, oh my life, what have I done? And also, if I did that, then I'd probably be saying, interestingly, yes to being more annoyed and frustrated myself, yes to, at some point beat myself up over the head a little bit, the annoyance of it all, and then actually I'm also then saying no to being kinder, to myself as well. So that's where I'd be going with that. I think that's really important. Another thing I want to sort of share with you, I often share a couple of poems and different reflections on things. Now I have got one of my own poems, but before that, I've heard this other poem before. I came across it in the week, and I was reminded of it, and I read it again, and I just thought, do you know what? That's really important and really vital now more than ever. So I've decided that I'm going to share this poem in particular before I do my own one, and then I'm also going to share a couple of reflections that somebody who had actually knows somebody who'd read this poem at somebody's funeral, some of their own thoughts about it as well. So you might have heard it before, definitely worth hearing again. It's called The Dash, and it's by somebody called Linda Ellis. So it goes like this. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following dates with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth. And now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you lived your dash? So that's the poem called The Dash by Linda Ellis. And then I was reading a little reflection that somebody had been talking about this, and they were saying that recently a friend of theirs attended a funeral, one of their friend's husbands actually, and they read this, the Dash poem, at the funeral, and they were talking about the fact that the title itself was intriguing, and at first they didn't grasp the significance of it until their friend explained it to them. And they were saying too often when we read a funeral announcement, whether it be in the media or we're studying a gravestone, we see the dates when the person was born, a dash, and then the dates the person died. So it's the start, the finish, and then the dash in between. And the poem points out that the dash between the birth and the death is literally the life lived. That is, that dash. And how that dash is lived is really who the person is, and how that dash is fulfilled is the most important information. And then they were going on to say, we often don't realise how time can pass so quickly, and how we sometimes squander the precious moments given to us in useless pursuits. And then it goes on to finally say, the poem points out that we all don't want to come to the end of that dash with regrets and unhealed relationships. Our aim is not how much we've accumulated in wealth, but how much love we've given to others and to help others in their dash. And I just thought that was really lovely, really sort of powerful. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I am going to read a poem that's one of my own that I've written and created. So this poem is called Acceptance. Separate, break down in order to build back up. I said everything is possible. Why do you say most things are possible? Why most? Why not all? What do you have to say for yourself? People can't always see their own beauty. Sometimes you have to take a step back to gain perspective. Step back in time. Don't stop believing. Black is black. I want my baby back. Grey's grey. Since you went away. What can I do? I'm feeling blue and pink and yellow and grey. When will my reflection show who I really am? Can you ever really show who you are 100%? Don't be afraid. Be you. Take the risks. You can't really lose, because at least you will know, and that means you will know where you stand and your position. What is your position? What is it in relation to me? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust me? Do I trust myself? What is trust anyway? It's tea with a bit of rust. What does that mean? Take the rough with the smooth. It's all relative. Just stick it on my head. Let awareness stand up. Stand up to take care. Stand up to be proud. Stand up for yourself, for others. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand for honest communication. Be upstanding for everyone trying to get through. Be the face of the believer. Believe in hope, in transforming trust, intimacy and communication. Grasp the passion. Grab it and squeeze it for what it's worth while you have the energy. before you give in to the tiredness, to bad habits and lethargy. Break the mould. Break the habits of a lifetime. Accept yourself and everyone else for who they are, for the journey they're on, for making it this far. Be thankful. And that was called Acceptance. So, I've got a song, but before I do the song, I'm actually going to give you a little bit of background to this. Or there's apparently some mixed meaning behind it. So, I was watching a version on James Corden's Carpool Karaoke, and it actually had McCartney talking about his late mother, and he was saying that she died from cancer when he was 14, and actually she inspired him to write this track. And he went on to say, I had a dream in the 60s where my mum, who died, came to me in a dream and was reassuring me, say, it's going to be okay, just let it be. And McCartney's mother was also named Mary, which has been cited as an inspiration, potentially for the Mother Mary sort of lyric as well. However, when asked if it had any reference to the Virgin Mary, Paul McCartney's been known to just leave it up to the fans' interpretation. But what struck me about this when I was looking it up was apparently there's another version of the story, and a guy called Mal Evans was one of the Beatles' right-hand men, and together with Neil Aspinall and a few of the others, they were the ones who really, sort of supported the guys and really got them on the road. And in 1975, at a TV special hosted by David Frost, this guy Evans explained that it was him, not Paul's mum, that was going to be the subject of the song. So speaking to Frost, Evans said, Paul was meditating one day and I came to him in a vision. And I was just standing there saying, let it be, let it be. And that's where the song came from. It's funny because we were coming home from a session one night. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, raining, really dark. And Paul was telling this, saying, I've written this song. But Paul said, it was going to be Brother Malcolm, but I've had to change it in case people get the wrong idea. Now, as it goes on to say, was Mal talking rubbish? A lot of people thought so. And the Mother Mary Dream Tale became the official version of the genesis of Let It Be. That was until an outtake appeared on the 2018 50th anniversary reissue of the classic White Album, in which Paul tries out Let It Be while the band are midway through recording the song Piggies in September 1968. And there, with the lyrics, it goes, when I find myself in times of trouble, Brother Malcolm comes to me. So, who was right? Well, Mal Evans died in January 1976 after a confrontation with armed police in LA. So, it would seem, on this occasion, as they said, maybe Paul had the last word on this one. I just like that idea that, there's a little bit of a unknown to it. Maybe there was another sort of meaning behind it. But that aside, it's like interesting sort of, information and antidotes for you. I am going to sort of sing this little ditty. Just a really little song, she says. So, just give us a second, guys. Find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Ooh, be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be. Self in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be. Bum, 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 bum. So that's my Sunday live, guys. Hopefully you perhaps got something from some of what I was sharing about continuing the theme, speaking truth, and that strategy around the looking at the balance of saying, you know, weighing up the yes and no. Maybe the couple of the poems, the one by that Linda on the dash, or yeah, my on acceptance, perhaps give you some food for thought. And then interestingly, some of the meaning behind let it be, potentially. So yeah, so have the rest of a really lovely, cosy Sunday night. Look after yourselves. Have a good week coming up, and keep me posted. Send me your thoughts, send me your feedback. Yeah, just keep communicating, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? And love you loads, guys. Thank you for joining me or for listening at some other points, and I shall speak to you really soon, guys. Take care. Lots of love. Bye. Bye.